Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. Silver is literally vanishing before our eyes. US Mint, several other places, bullion dealers are running out of silver. They're running out of coins. They're actually sold out. The US Mint is completely wiped out of all of their silver. Now, we see JM Bullion having a several week waiting order if you want to buy silver, and there's a $300 minimum that you have to pay if you want to order silver. You can't just buy a couple ounces, it has to be a $300 minimum. Things are getting more severe. We see silver down to $14.50. The gold to silver ratio is at 104 to 1. COVID-19 is definitely causing a lot of panic. Now, hopefully listening to the emergency speech that Trump gave earlier today on March 13th gave a little bit of ease and comfort, knowing that there will be testing that people can accessibly take if needed, and that it will pass. Now, this is something that hopefully brings the speculation, the fear and panic down, because right now people running around with it like a chicken with their heads cut off is not going to help or make anything any better anytime soon. Things are probably going to get worse. It looks like at least 60% of the world will catch coronavirus at some point, which is a staggering number, a very staggering number. I used to say you have a better chance of winning the lottery than catching this virus, but it seems like nowadays you have a better chance than not catching it. It's the odds are against you to some extent, which is pretty alarming. Right now, I'm not going to share my opinions on it. I want to talk about precious metals because that's what this channel's about. Now, gold and silver have been hit heavily from this. Now, we see a huge shortage in silver, and I've been talking about this, that there is a shortage. We've been cutting back the production of silver for the last 5 to 6 years. Mexico, Peru, Chile, Australia, China have been all abandoning silver mines, and that this is going to bite us in the butt sooner than later. And what happened? Something like this, COVID-19 takes over. People want silver, but we don't have enough stocked up to meet the needs. The supply cannot meet the demand, or the demand cannot meet the supply, which is very bad news. This easily could send prices flying, especially for the silver part, because we're talking about silver that's shorted. There's a shortage in. Because right now people are seeing the potential in silver, especially looking at how high the gold to silver ratio is sitting. So right now, as an investor, I'm looking at silver, and I'm looking at this thing just waiting to explode. It's like a ticking time bomb. I could speculate upon stock markets. I could speculate upon cryptocurrency. I could speculate upon real estate, whatever the case is. But there's one factor that separates all of that, and that is the US dollar. All those other things are pegged to the US dollar, but gold and silver are separate. Gold and silver have their own means of internal value, intrinsic value. That's what intrinsic value is, and that's why precious metals have the one up. It's a safe haven alternative. That's why JM Bullion is having a $300 minimum order, and it's going to take several weeks just for it to get your order shipped out, is because everyone sees that gold and silver is the solution right now if you want to protect your wealth, because the dollar could be crashing. I mean, we're $20 trillion in debt, and it's not looking like this thing is going to be put under any ease or tension anytime soon. So with that said, I'm curious to hear what your game plan is. What is your game plan? Where do you think the gold to silver ratio is going to be heading in the next few days or weeks? I mean, silver has to correct to normalize somewhat. This is the highest the gold to silver ratio has ever been. Ever been. Ever been. The gold to silver ratio has never been this high in the history of the world. That's pretty alarming. That means that a correction has to occur. And when that correction occurs, silver has to outperform gold. Now, right now, the ratio is sitting at such an alarming rate that silver's really going to have to outperform gold, meaning that gold either has to stay at its price right now and silver has to appreciate, or gold has to depreciate while silver's appreciating. Now, more likely it's going to be the first case, because I rarely would see gold not appreciate if silver is. They usually rise pretty quick to each other, but silver is more volatile. And I know, like I made the video earlier today, there's a lot of volatility, and people might want to take chances and to make some money during these times. How to invest into a bear market. I see those types of videos all across YouTube right now. But you have to be careful, man. You have to be really careful, because there's a lot of emotional attachment, and a lot of people aren't in the right mind frame to be investing right now. They're thinking with their heart instead of their head, and they're not looking at the markets realistically. You cannot do that. There's the Seeking Alpha has the VCPMI, which is an artificial intelligence trading bot that works mechanically. It looks at the algorithms, and that's probably the best. That's the best, safest thing I would use, because there is no speculation. There is no emotional attachment with a robot. They can just look at the numbers and not have that emotional side that can sway your opinion so easily. So, that's very dangerous, especially right now. So I am curious, and that's why I love talking about your strategies so much. What is your trading strategy? Because everybody's strategy differentiates from person to person, especially since silver stacking is such an individual investment. Silver stacking is an extremely individual investment, and it depends upon it varies upon person to person. Everyone has different buying time frames, different selling time frames, different financial situations, different exit strategies, different types of silver that they like, and it really does depend upon you. So what is your strategy? What are you going to be doing right now to protect yourself against COVID-19, against these markets crashing? Are you buying more silver to lower your dollar per ounce average, your dollar per cost average, boosting the overall amount of your stack, especially once prices recover? Are you going to be buying a lot of gold and silver right now as prices are cheaper, and then sell a bit once it corrects to make up for some lost money maybe that the markets have caused? Or are you in the stock market and you're taking a huge beating right now, 11.3 trillion out of stocks since Trump's 2016 presidencies, since he's got elected, been completely wiped out. All those years gone like that. But that's the catastrophic mind state, because trust me, markets will recover. Tesla's going to recover, right? Everyone's freaking out, acting like these are the new prices of the stocks. This is temporary. Temporary, meaning it's not going to be like this forever. Markets will recover. If you don't see that, if you cannot see it that way, then you will be you'll have a very, very, very slight chance of being successful, and the chance of you panic selling is going to be through the roof. Because if you do not see that the markets will recover, if you cannot comprehend that, then you're looking at these prices as they're going to keep going lower, and you might as well get out right now while prices are still somewhat afloat. And if you do that, you're selling yourself extremely short. Panic selling and impulse buying are definitely the worst things to do. But anyways, back to the supply and demand thing. So silver's used heavily in the industrial side of things, right? It's used in everything, basically everything. To record this video, to take pictures, the newest iPhone, the new cars, whatever you name it. If it's used technologically, silver's in it, and silver's needed. Silver's needed for these things, right? So when I'm looking forwards into the future, silver's needed more and more and more and more and more and more and more, but the supply is running short. So when supply cannot meet the demand, supply and demand are the most influential things to move a price of a market. Supply and demand is number one at the top of the list, above COVID-19, that can move markets. So we might see a huge rally in silver coming, since the U.S. Mint ran out of eagles, since we're seeing the consequences of silver supply vanishing from all those producers, Mexico, Peru, and Chile, and Australia. All those people abandoning silver mines, not digging it out the ground. We're seeing the effects now of what that's causing and how it's going to play out in the grand scheme of things, which isn't looking good. It's going to be good for us, the people that have silver, because we're going to be able to sell it for a pretty penny. But for those who are going to be on the short end of the stick, it's going to be an extremely hard game to play. And I wish you the best of luck. That's why I'm always saying buy silver right now while it's cheap. Buy silver while it's cheap. Silver cannot lose its value. It cannot go completely worthless. There is intrinsic value inside these coins. 1 ounce of silver is always going to have 1 ounce of silver in it, which is valuable within itself, regardless of what spot price is or what spot price will ever be. Please remember that. Anyways, just to recap a little bit, U.S. Mint sold out COVID-19's crashing markets across the board. There's a silver shortage. You have to pay $300 minimum to, even if you want to even buy silver from JM Bullion and a lot of these other places. 5 to 10 waiting days just to get it shipped out. Things are getting serious. Trump did make a statement today, though, and hopefully this will ease tensions a little bit and make people realize that this thing can and will pass. So anyways, with that said, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Check out the other 2 videos I made today. They're very good videos. I definitely recommend checking those out. They're talking more about COVID-19, more about the chart analytical standpoint from it and everything that entails that. It's a very good video. Actually, both videos are actually very good. I highly recommend checking those out if you already haven't. If you did, check out one of those. The other video being in the top right hand corner. If you already haven't seen that one, the top left hand corner, make sure to subscribe because I do post daily videos, especially nowadays. It's really important to stay informed on a day-to-day basis what's going on in the world of precious metals, and I am your guy. This is your channel. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.